Welcome to The Dating Lab, the podcast that makes midlife dating simpler, saner, and maybe, hopefully, a little less overwhelming. I'm your host, Alyssa Dineen, and each week we'll break down one real dating challenge that adults 45 plus face today. From confusing apps and unclear profiles to first date nerves and slow fade messages. And you'll walk away with at least one practical tool you can use immediately to date with more confidence, clarity, and momentum. Think of this as your bi-weekly place to experiment, learn something new, and hopefully try something new without the pressure. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dating Lab. And today I'm thrilled to have Robert Race with me. And Robert is known in the fitness community as the Mind, Body, Soul Connector, and he was selected by verywell.com as one of the top 100 voices in wellness. He is a celebrity wellness expert and founder of Brace Life Studios, which is a really nice luxury boutique that I visited, personal training studio in New York City. He is a motivational speaker and a former soloist ballet dancer, and also the star of a weight loss reality show on the Food Network. So, multi-hyphenate. Thanks for joining me today. I'm thrilled to have you here.
All right. Thanks for having me. Thrilled to be here myself.
Oh, good. And thanks for making the time. Robert is very busy, so I'm so glad you were able to join. Okay, so I read a lot about you in preparation for this, and you talk a lot about confidence and through movement and coming after movement, basically. And can you explain that for someone who maybe feels intimidated or out of shape and who wants to feel confident, but is, obviously hasn't done this in a while and is nervous and
Right. Well, it takes on two different approaches, the confidence that comes after movement. A lot of that part that you read in my resume about being mind, body, and soul connector, I think one of the key things I would love for more people to understand, and that my industry has done a poor job of doing, is making the connection between your mental health, your self-esteem, and movement. For example, and what I mean, in very practical terms, is when you move, your body produces serotonin, which helps you feel more joy, right? When you move, your body produces more endorphins, which take the edge off of stress and depression. Also, if you move for more than 20 minutes continuously, your body produces endocannabinoids, which is called the bliss hormone. You feel better, right? You feel a little more bliss. You move in a group, like a great soul cycle class, produce more oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone, right? And so you think of all of these things that happen when you move: serotonin, joy, calm because of the endorphins that are produced, a little bit of bliss as you keep moving, and connection and love from oxytocin. All of those things are going to help calm down your nervous system and help you feel these quote unquote spiritual qualities that are going to give you a sense of peace, that are going to give you a sense of confidence. And so, movement is going to produce those things in you that will regulate your nervous system and give you more of a sense of peace and calm confidence. And then moving, once you start to feel more in touch with your body, whatever it is you're doing, whether it's you lift a little bit more weight and you're feeling stronger, whether it's you're mastering more movement because you're doing a dance routine more regularly, or whether it's the actual aesthetic changes that happen in your body, movement is going to make you feel more confident from the results, from the progress, and from how it adds value to your life.
Wow. Okay. So well said. I'm sold. I am someone who moves every day, but actually I'm curious because you said the thing about after 20 minutes. So I was told, like, even if you move for 10 or 15 minutes a day, it's better than nothing. But is it really like 20 minutes is sort of the better?
Specifically what I'm talking about when I say 20 minutes is the time it takes for you to experience what people call, say, the runner's high, right? That feeling of bliss, a little bit more euphoria. You have to actually push your body, provide effort in the way you move your body. to reach that place. So that's very specific in terms of the endocannabinoid release, right? That euphoric kind of experience that you feel from moving. But yes, moving as little as 10 minutes is going to release some serotonin, help you feel those feel-good, qualities, and also help you feel like you accomplished something, you did something, right? You might have done 10 minutes, but you did 10 minutes. And so that is something. And it can be a motivating factor if you get to the end of 10 minutes and you're like, I can do more, right?
Right.
And
Yeah, that's how I trick myself
yeah,
actually. I'm like, I'll just do 10 minutes and then usually I end up doing 20. So
right.
yeah, it's a good trick. Okay, yeah. So that's really interesting. And so does that work for any kind of exercise, like even something more mellow like yoga, or not that that's always mellow, but like the kind of yoga I do is fairly, it's not a rigorous yoga class.
Right.
Does that still count as you can
It's
reach
still
that?
going to count, but if we're talking about the endocannabinoid release, you
Yeah.
have to do something where you are increasing your heart rate or you are
Okay.
pushing with something that provides intensity for you. Now, I think when people hear that, they might just hear the word intensity and think, oh, I'm going to do 20 burpees to get that. No, it's what's intense for you, what it raises your heart rate, what makes you feel like you're pushing and giving effort in your movement. So a good way to think about it is not as like comparative. Oh, I'm not doing kickboxing or whatever. No, if your heart rate is up, if you're pushing with some effort, if there's
Right.
maybe a little bit of sweat happening for 20 minutes, you can get to that place.
Right, right. Okay. So it's really individual and kind of what your level is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what role does consistency, maybe rather than intensity, play in rebuilding self-esteem around, or just self-esteem in general?
Well, consistency proves self-esteem a few ways. One, obviously, you're more consistent, your body's going to adapt, and you're going to feel more confident. But consistency also teaches you to trust yourself. Because if you commit to something or say you're going to do something and then you fall off, you're slowly learning not to trust what you tell yourself. So if you decide to be consistent and show up, even when it's not comfortable, even when you don't feel like it, you are building a certain baseline level of trust in yourself that if I say I'm going to do this, I will do this. And that provides you with confidence, right? Because
Right.
you're trusting yourself.
And the sticking with it,
Hmm.
like I'm gonna do this for this amount of time and yeah, and stick
Right,
with it. That really can apply to my clients as well with dating
right,
because people want to give up and they're like, this sucks. I don't want to do
right.
this anymore. But what I usually try to encourage people to do is set a goal. Like I'm
Hmm.
gonna do this for 2 months and I'm
Hmm.
really gonna throw myself into it.
Hmm.
And then you can take a break.
Right.
But so what do you tell your clients actually in
And,
regards to
and
that?
sometimes an example like that is because we live in such a results oriented world,
Hmm.
and then especially in New York, we can engage in whatever activity it is, whether it's dating or working out purely for the outcome, right? And if it's purely for the outcome, each time you don't get that specific outcome, you're going to get disappointed slightly, or it's going to chip away at that confidence. But if
Uh-huh.
you can put yourself in a place where, yeah, I'm going to do this for 3 months and I'm just going to explore. I'm going to explore what I like. I'm going to explore what works for me, what doesn't work for me. This is going to be an exploratory process, not connected to any outcome. Now, that sounds easy, but, we know what we want in the end. But sometimes if you open yourself up, you'll find your path to it without stressing about the outcome all the time. And sometimes when we're stressing about the outcome, cortisol is up. Physically, it's going to affect how we
Right.
respond. If you're working out, definitely increased cortisol is linked to all kinds of things, weight gain, stress in the body, inflammation. And then if
Yeah.
you're dating and you're stressed about it and your cortisol is spiked, you're, you're not
Yeah.
going to be open to seeing where the possibilities are or what might be working or learning.
Right.
So,
Right. That's such a good thing to point out because I think people do forget that. And they do get so with working out and with dating, I'm sure it's very similar in the sense that you do get caught up in the outcome
hmm
and not in trying to with my clients at least, I'm trying to always work with them on trying to enjoy
hmm
dating instead of just looking at it as a means to an end. And
right,
I'm sure that's your challenge too, right?
right.
Is like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's so good. Oh, and actually, this is something I wanted to ask you. If someone does only have 10, 15 minutes a day, or, say a few days in a row, they don't have as much time, what is something that they could do that really has the biggest return on
Mhm.
investment, the ROI, I guess?
If the ROI you're thinking about is how to change your body,
Well, yes, but also just as we were saying, like just even trying to improve your mood
hmm
or give you a little bit of a boost or
right.
something.
I think it comes down to the individual, what works for you. However, I would say that if you've got 10 minutes, yoga type practice with breathing is going to help you move your body. The breathing is going to
Hmm.
help regulate your nervous system. And, the feeling of accomplishment of getting through the actual, ritual of whichever yoga you subscribe to is going to
Hmm.
be helpful and encouraging. Or you could lift weights in 10-minute bursts, so long as you're lifting with the right form and the weight is heavy enough to stimulate muscle growth. Those are things you could do. And then obviously jogging, running, doing something like that you can do on your own. You put your earbuds in and go.
Hmm.
That's also something that can work for you.
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure running is probably the biggest boost as far as that.
Right.
But I like that you pointed out yoga with the breathing because I think that is something that we all need to work on is breathing better, breathing more. Okay. And then so somebody I'm sure do you get a lot of people that haven't exercised in years, decades, and
Mhm.
what's a gentle starting point for someone who hasn't moved their body in many years?
Mm. Well, again, it depends on the individual, but I,
Someone who's like in middle age or
middle
older, I
age.
guess. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm always going to advocate for lifting weights because,
Hmm.
and when I say lifting weights, some people like, oh, I don't want to lift all these big. No, it's not about lifting huge weights. It's about lifting the weights that your body can handle, meaning that you can successfully complete 8 to 10 repetitions with good form. I'm always going to suggest that because building lean muscle mass has so many benefits, from increasing your metabolism to increasing bone mass to improving your posture, reducing pain, reducing inflammation. So I think I would say start there. And then
Okay.
the other short answer is do whatever you're going to feel good about doing and that you're going to be into, right?
Hmm.
Because look, if you really, let's just say you tried weightlifting and you just can't do it, right? But dancing, doing
Hmm.
Zumba or whatever is going to keep you consistent, then do that, right? Any weight bearing movement is going to help you.
Right, right. Okay. That's good to know. I didn't realize so weightlifting is known for reducing inflammation.
Yeah, because you're
Oh, cool. I
flushing
didn't know
toxins
that.
out of your body, right?
Sorry, say that again. You're
Flushing toxins out of your body and
okay.
sweat, the urea and all of that is
Wow.
helping reduce inflammation.
Okay. Okay. That's really good to
I know
know.
we think we're getting sore, so we're getting more inflamed, but no. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. When you work with your clients, are you doing, is it really tailored to each individual person, or
hmm
is it, you kind of, what's a typical workout for someone, say, 55 to 65, a woman?
Well, our Icons program, which is specifically designed for women 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, is a heavily tailored program. It's personal training. It involves, because my background was a professional modern and ballet dancer, everything is focused on extreme, or not extreme, but specific meticulous form with connection with mind-body connection. So you're not just lifting weights, you're learning how to connect your body while you're lifting the weights. So it almost becomes like a movement meditation. So they'll receive that. They also receive an interval training protocol that works for their bodies and specifically for their time during their cycle, and also with where they are on the menopause spectrum. And so that's how it's tailored there. And then we do classes we have a class pop-up in South Orange, where it's same principles but applied to a group.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so a group class, and what type of class is it? Is it cardio or is it?
It's the same thing. It's what we do in the studio
Okay.
For the individual, but designed
as a group.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, I would love to try that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what's speaking of people in midlife and starting again, after not, I mean, do you get a lot of clients that haven't worked out in many years?
Yeah,
Is
Well,
that
I
a
wouldn't say a
typical?
lot, but we do have people who haven't worked out in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what's a mindset shift that you wish a lot of people in midlife understood about their bodies?
I think we get to well, I'll tell you in the story. One of my clients before she started working with us, she was walking by one of her favorite clothing stores, and there was a white bikini. And she said to herself, well, those days are over, right? And so, she had just accepted it. And she started working out with us. She went through the whole transformation process, felt great about her body, and then ended up going back to buy that white bikini, right? Now, that's on its surface a very simplistic story, but she had given up and just settled. And
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, I can relate to that. I feel like I've said that in my head too. Oh, those days are over,
right. And
Yeah, for whatever it is. I mean, yeah,
right,
wearing a strapless dress. I'm like, there's no way.
right.
But yeah,
And for us, we see it time and time and time again where that is not the case. And
right.
you hear the phrase best shape of my life. And sometimes it's like, well, are you really in the best shape of your life? Right. At the age. I mean, is that
Right.
really the truth? But for many of our clients, it really is the truth.
Yeah.
And what I would say is that you don't have to settle for where you are physically, and not just in the sense of weight training and losing weight and reshaping your body, but when it comes to things like hormone replacement therapy and the new information that is out about how effective it is, and the studies way back, in the early 2000s, which scared a lot of people, were incorrectly analyzed,
Yeah.
right? So,
Hmm.
and there are so many great interventions that are safe and healthy that really can help you with brain fog, that really can help you with the energy that you might feel that you've lost. And, especially during menopause, the drop in estrogen, progesterone makes many women feel less resilient to stress and stressful situations. And there are, obviously everybody has to speak with their doctor and do their own research and find out what works for them. But there are interventions that are safe that mean you really don't have to feel a certain way, right? Or accept the way your body feels. So I would say not settle, and understand that you really can improve your physicality, your health. And, we're doing surveys right now on our clients because we're giving them biological age tests. And the average client, after working with us between 3 and 6 months, has a biological age, which is the age that your body is, as opposed to your chronological, that is 15 years younger than their chronological age. So
Wow.
one client actually just this morning, and she's a very well-known doctor, and so she measures her own, she's a little more diligent about these things.
Right.
She said when she came to us in August, her biological age was 5 years younger than her chronological age. And now it's 15 years younger than a chronological age.
Wow.
So you literally can age your body in reverse.
That's
Give yourself
incredible.
more longevity and functionality just by moving.
Wow. Wow. That's really, it gives us such hope.
Right.
I mean, for sure. It
Right.
must be so rewarding doing what you do. Do you feel,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, I think that's obviously I love what I do. I love helping people. It's important to reiterate the fact that you really can reverse your biological age, have more longevity, really be in the best shape of your life. And if it's not the best shape of your life, markedly improve, your strength, the way your body feels, and the way you feel and exist in your body. Because this is our vehicle for life. We live in it every single day. It takes us, throughout our lives. So yeah, there is always opportunity to improve it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. How do you figure out one's biological age?
The simplest thing is you go to some of these online, like Thorn Health has biological age
Okay.
tests.
Oh,
Tally Health has biological age tests. If you simply Google biological age test,
yeah.
you'll
Oh,
find,
interesting. Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know that. You can just do it yourself at home.
Yeah, you can. Well, some of them you have to send in. So it's like a cheek
Okay.
swab. You want to get an epigenetic test is the gold standard. You buy one, you send a cheek swab in, and it doesn't just give you a biological age, but it shows you all of your health markers and where you can improve.
Got it.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. I didn't know that. Okay. So, what are some of the most common myths you see your midlife clients believing about their bodies and what's actually true instead? I mean, I guess you kind of answered that
Mhm.
before, but anything that we're maybe not covering yet?
I think that's the biggest thing is that it's not over. It's not too late. You can gain more strength, more flexibility. You can look more the way you want to look. So I think that really is the biggest thing. You know, other
Yeah.
than if I lift weights, I'm going to get bulky. Which, if I hear that again, we hear it all the time.
Yeah, I
But
know. Hasn't that been debunked like years
it,
ago now?
it
I feel
has,
like,
but it still exists.
but people still
And
think that way. Yeah.
if you're moving through the full range of motion and you're using your body in the right way, you're not going to get bulky. And you really have, especially for women, you have to lift a lot of weight to put on a lot of lean muscle mass. So if you're not predisposed to that genetically, chances are it's
Right, right. I'm sure inside you're like, yeah, you wish that you could bulk
right,
up as much as
right,
you think you
exactly.
would. I know. So one other thing, that I thought of that we probably both deal with it in our, working with women in the age group we
Mm-hmm.
do, is how do you keep your clients motivated in keeping up with it and not give up? Like, do you have clients that I'm sure you have clients that have been doing it with you for years,
Mm-hmm.
but what about someone who tries and they just don't have it in them and they're trying to, kind of back away? How do you
Right.
keep them motivated?
Well, I think there's two sides to that coin. I think the way we keep people motivated is through a myriad of things, through the community here, connecting them to
Mm,
people who are here. If you're part of we have a very strong community. If you're part of that, you feel inspired, you feel supported, you feel encouraged. I think listening a lot of times, because sometimes people just want to be heard, and
mhm.
to listen to them, take into account what they're saying, and then on our end make the interventions we need to make. And then also is we always take pictures of clients when they first come in, because what I've learned over the years is we typically see ourselves in the most negative light. And a lot of times, one classic time is a client joined. She was very skeptical about joining. Is this just going to be another one of those things? I'm going to give you money, you take my money, and then I don't get results, and I'm on to the next thing. And she had that energy. And
Mhm.
we took her pictures, and it wasn't a long time. It was about 4 weeks in. She's like, this isn't working. I'm not getting results. And so I was like, okay. I pulled out a photo of when she started. We took another photo, and, there was a significant difference even after 4 weeks.
Wow.
So I said, and she saw it very clearly. And I said, so you got to trust. And sometimes when we say you're doing great, people are like, oh, you're my trainer, you have to say that. So, so I'm like, I'm not just lying to you.
Right.
There is, look for yourself and see.
Yeah.
So that is one of the ways we help them stay motivated. And then it's always talking about referencing the things beyond the weight loss or beyond the body change. It's like, how are you feeling? How is this going to support, if you have a career goal, how is it going to support your career goal? When you have a lot of people in front of the camera. So working on this posture is going to be, great when you're, in front of an audience, right? So making the motivations more in line with their own lifestyle goals, right? Because my industry has made it so numbers, oriented. And look, we have people who put on lean muscle mass and lost 1 pound, but look completely different, right?
Right,
so
right.
It's not always about the numbers. So it's just finding in each individual what is motivating them in life and connecting their wellness journey to their life and lifestyle motivations.
Yeah, that's so good. I mean, it's so true. It's not about the number on the scale. It's
Right.
about how you feel in your clothes. I mean, it is, yeah, I actually had to have surgery a couple of months ago, hip replacement, and I couldn't do my typical, regimen of like I usually do Pilates twice a week, I do yoga twice a week, and boy, did it affect my mood and also my strength.
Right.
And so, I lost a lot of muscle mass. So it's like, forget about it, what it says on the scale, because I knew how I felt. And it was just, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I really was missing that. Like, my daughters always say, motion is lotion, Mom, motion is
Right.
lotion. And it's so true. It's like, even just getting out for a walk is helpful, but I really did miss my usual movement, but it was
Mm,
mostly about my mood and how I felt about myself. It wasn't, a numbers thing. Yeah.
right.
You have two daughters too, I saw.
2 daughters, yes. One's 21, one's about to be 16.
Same ages. Mine's
Oh,
about to be
really?
16, and then my other one's about to turn 20. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
funny. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I know, I know. And actually, since we brought up our daughters, how do you, I mean, I'm sure just being in fitness is so helpful for them, but so much of what they're seeing and hearing, and I mean, they get so much information on TikTok that is
Yeah,
just like, I mean, every time they say something to me, I'm like, where did you hear that?
right,
They'll
right,
be like,
right,
TikTok. I'm like, okay,
right.
let's really Google this.
Mm.
But how do you, what are they interested in? Are
Oh,
they
it's
into
funny. Well, there's two
exercise? Are they into
sides to
fitness?
it because the one side is I'm like, I literally do this for a living. Do you want to listen to what I might have to
Yeah,
say? And I'm like, no,
right.
TikTok is what I'm following. So, but on the other hand, I mean, thankfully, both my daughters have a healthy outlook on their health and on their bodies, and there are a lot of mixed messages that they get that could be potentially negative.
Hmm.
We don't talk about weight at home. We talk about health. We talk about strength. We talk about just lifestyles we want to live and things that we want to do.
Hmm.
And it is tough because I do what I do, and my wife she's a clinician, but before she was a clinician, she was a model years ago.
Mm.
So there's
Mm.
that kind of aesthetic. We didn't want to give our kids a kind of aesthetic pressure, so to speak.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, and so far so good. The older one was involved in sports, and now she models. But she's graduating college, and she's going into media, and the young one plays a lot of competitive sports. So,
Nice.
it's more of a art than a science, as you know, and
Yeah.
there are no right or wrong answers, but that's how we've had to navigate it.
Right, right. Yeah. No, that's good. Don't listen to everything you see on TikTok.
Yeah,
That's the biggest
yeah,
message.
exactly.
Yeah. And tell us, how can people find you and follow you on Instagram and that type of thing?
Oh, great. Thank you. So you can follow me by going to bracelifestudios.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at Robert Brace.
Well, thank you. This was so much good information. I feel like I
Oh,
learned
thank you
a
for
lot
having me.
myself. Yeah, thanks so much. I would love to have you back on and go more into
Any
depth. Yeah.
anytime, say
Okay.
the word.
Okay, great. Nice to have you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to the Dating Lab. If today's episode gave you something to think about, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one. And if you want more dating guidance, you can find me on Instagram or at stylemyprofile.nyc.com. Until next time, remember, dating is a process, not a verdict. You're doing better than you think.